Yo, what's up with it, party people? It's your boy, Señor Gigio. I'm back with another vlog. And first and foremost, I want to say peace and thank you to everybody who's been supporting and everybody who's been a part of my journey and just the people who are really peeping and taking time to appreciate and enjoy these creations and these things that I've been offering through my life. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to enjoy it. And yeah, man, it's a special thing, you know. Um, this music, it's very spiritual to me. Without this expression, I mean, this expression is everything. That's what it is, you know, and that's why I do what I do. It's straight from the core. It's as raw to my soul and to who I am, you know, as it could be. And I'm always continuing to refine that core too. So the music continues to evolve as well. And on that note, what I want to say too is man, like just on a daily basis, you know, because I'm working on my art and my music and my spiritual work as well daily. You know, I'm completely involved and laser focused with this. This is me. So, you know, I put a lot of thought into it. Um I'm always thinking about what it is that I'm doing. I'm always taking in the environment. I'm always looking at things, you know what I'm saying? I'm always looking at things. I'm always translating things into my art. Okay. So that's how it doesn't stop. The creativity and the spirituality, that whole thing, it's always turned on. I always have it turned on, and I'm always doing things and functioning like that. So with that said, I want you guys to know, like, I've been there's so much I always want to say and so much I always want to express and like put out there, all the time. I'm very passionate, you know. I'm super duper passionate. I'm very opinionated, and I have my own perspective on things. And it's a perspective that I don't really hear broadcast out there much too. Okay, so it's particular. It's particular to me and the way I see things and the way I move and groove. Um, so I'm always turned on, okay? And lately I've been I want you guys to know that I have been creating a lot of new stuff um this year, and I'm working on multiple projects, okay? So I'm working on new music, multiple albums, I'm working on multiple visual projects, some illustrative works, and I'm also working on some spiritual work too, okay? So it's a lot, okay? There's a lot in that I'm creating right now. And sometimes I want to share a lot about the new shit that's being made, but you know, there's a time and a place for everything. And but when the time comes, I'll share more about the new shit too, you know, or maybe there might be different moments in the process of the production where I decide that I want to give you guys a little window into what I'm doing. Um, as well, you know, I'm going to continue shining a light on my history, on my back catalog, on all previous works, because it's been a lot. Okay, so this Señor Gigio goes back to 2017. That's when I switched it to Señor Gigio, but there's a back history before that. I'm not even talking about that part. I'm just talking about everything that I've created and released as Señor Gigio. A ton of music is out there, a ton of songs are out there, and so I'm gonna continue to shine a light on those works as well. Um, because just like as a one-man band, they're just, you know, as much as I've put out and accomplished and got out there, you know, like in the moment when it's come to releasing particular projects, I've had to keep it moving and stay persistent and keep looking forward to the next thing. So there's songs at the time of the release and promotion of those albums that I didn't really get to shine a light on, but it's still mine and I can still shine a light on it and I will. So that's going to be something I continue to do. And one thing that's been kind of cool that I've already kind of like witnessed and experienced is like, I end up shining a light on something that I already put out, and then people react to it as if it's brand new. Even though I always clarify, like, this is old. I'm just now shining the light on it, or shining a bigger light on it, even though it's already out, but people relate to it in a brand new way. And I think that speaks to the fact that I've always aimed to be timeless with my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always on time, and sometimes there's shit that I've put out years ago, and I meant it when I said it then, but then fast forward to present day, I mean it even more now. I mean it even more than when I said it. And it's even more relevant and more on point than it was when I first did it. So there's things in the canister that I'm going to continue to to put out there to shine a light on the old works as well. Let's see. So now that I got that part out the way, the next thing I want to talk about is, okay, so here's what I want to talk about. This rap game, baby, this rap game. It's just that it is a game, and that's what I've come to learn. That's kind of what I've always peeped, really, since just from the jump. But I just I want, I guess the part of it that I want to shine a light on is about the art. Okay, so you have the art form and you have the game. Those are two different things. Okay. There is not a collective consensus to want to push the art form forward. If there was, it'd be a different result of what we're seeing produced. Instead, it's about pushing the game forward and keeping the game in motion. But the game is the game, and the game is always going to be the game. We're talking about the art form. The art form has power to evolve, and it has power to affect people, everybody involved, from the artists to different different business people around it, to, most importantly, the listeners, the audience, in powerful ways. So I've always stayed true to the art form. And when it comes to collaborations specifically, because music is collaborative, and it can be collaborative. I've always been collaborative. Even in my solo ventures, it's still collaborative in that I'm working with producers who rock with me, or that I'm working with engineers. Okay, so it's still collaborative at its core. But when it comes to collaboration, for me, I'm going to tell you what has been the basis for me collaborating with anybody. And this goes back to me being a young mustache in this game. Before I was the big beard, I was just a little baby mustache in this game. Okay. And the thing that mattered most to me was, if I seen you or I heard you as an MC, and I experienced you as an MC, and I thought that you were either as good as me, or that you had some things that I could, like, it made me want to set my game up so that I could rock better. There had to be a quality of MCing, of craftsmanship to your MCing, that made me want to gravitate to you. I didn't care if you were a nice person, although it's nice to be a nice person. I didn't care if you were a cool person, although it's cool to be cool, I guess. I didn't care if you had clout, although you can cash in on that clout, I suppose. And I didn't care if, you know, I don't know. I just didn't care if you just, whatever. There's nothing else to really say, right? But as long as I saw you as an original, and I saw that your expression was original to you, that like, oh man, that emceeing, that form of lyricism, that form of emceeing of rap, I can't get or hear from anybody else except this vessel of a human being. That first off is going to make me gravitate to a person, is the authenticity of the expression and the uniqueness of how they, how they flowed, the flow, the cadence, the wordplay, and also the topics. So that's going to be what made me gravitate to want to work with somebody and collaborate with somebody, and be on whatever level, whether it was like getting them to feature on my song, or me entertaining being featured on their song, or clicking up and starting something. That's what initiates collaboration for me. Somebody who I think is going to help me step my game up and continue to evolve and be a better artist, not a more famous artist, not a more a more established commercial artist, or a more popular artist. No, that's not what motivated me in any of my collaborations. And this also extends into the realm of doing shows, because now you get into a stage of your indie rap career, and you got to keep putting on different hats. So part of it is learning how to put on shows and promoting shows. So now we're getting into this stage that it's the same thing. So anytime I've done shows, I've been performing and doing shows since 2006, all around and I've all around the place. Okay. But when I started like putting on my own shows, that would be 2014, 2014. So it's been about over 10 years of experience putting on my own shows. The impetus to put on any show and put together anything was the same principles of that. These are MCs and artists who I think are dope, and who I think are sick, who I think push the art form forward in a different direction. And what's sick is getting as many of those types of artists who put, who push the art form forward in different directions, all different from one another, and putting them on a bill. People who inspire me, not based on clout, not based on popularity and things like that. But understand that notoriety and respect, that those are the rewards of putting in work and years as a dedicated MC. Those are the rewards of doing that. So it's not to say that people don't have clout and aren't known and aren't popular or celebrated. Plenty are, and plenty of us are, and plenty of us have had the accolades to do that. But those things you know, are things that are earned and are rewarded. Those are the rewards, you know. Um, but by no means is it the goal, at least not for me. Some people that get those things, they attain those things, and then it becomes it changes them. It changes them, and they need it. They need it and they start to feed off of it, and that becomes their sole focus. Okay. But again, that's been the interest in doing anything in terms of putting on shows. And when it's come to putting on shows also as well, um I've never so from working with people, from collaborations to putting on shows, and it's come to reaching out to MCs and trying to initiate collaborations and stuff. The thing is like I've always taken time with every single one of those individuals, and and peeped their whole catalog and studied and soaked in um what they've produced in their artistry. I've never just um cold hit somebody up that I barely had a clue of anything about and just be like, "Hey, you want to be on my show?" No. And to me that's goofy. And to me, I don't know, man. It's just whack. It's pretty lame to me, to be honest. Okay, step your brain up with that. Okay, that's all I got to say. Step your brain up with that shit, because there's more to it. So I'm interested in seeing a history, or at least and when I mean history, I don't mean it has to be a long ass history. It could be a small, a shorter length of history, but just consistency of somebody dedicated to their art form and creating shit that is sick and that is, you know, like authentic. So I get to know the artist before I even hit them up. All right. I'm peeping them and I'm seeing like, all right, yeah, that vibes with me. So anytime I've ever hit up anybody, that's been the fact. And that's how it should be for a lot of people. And you think that what I'm saying makes sense and that's like duh, but it's not, because I'll tell you that me personally, and it is what it is. But I know I've been hit up by all kinds of people, um, rappers and people who are trying to whatever, do whatever they want to do in hip hop. Some people it's because they're rappers. There's all kinds of roles and stuff in this thing, right? Um, but people will hit me up without a clue of what it is that I do. They don't have a fucking clue about what it is that I do. They just see me as a personality and they have a show or something, and they want your personality and they're just trying to fill up a night. And there's no curation to it. There's no thought to it. There's no consideration to it. And to be honest, like that is what it is. You know, in the moments you deal with it as you deal with it. But on my end, I'm experiencing that person as is pretty rookie, to be honest. It's either pretty rookie or it's just nonchalant to a point that like, all right, you don't really even care about the art or anything like that. Anyways, like why hit me up if you don't know what I do, or if you think that I'm some dude or some kid with a phone who just raps on his phone. Um and the thing is there's lots of levels to it, because you actually don't hit up nobody if you don't know what they're about. You're potentially missing out on, you know, finding the right people that are meant for you, that actually align with what you do. We all don't want the same thing out of this, okay? Um, but that doesn't mean that anybody's any more or less accomplished. All right. So um you know, so with that said, I encourage people to do your research. Do your research. So do your research in general. Okay. So if you're in this hip hop shit, all right, on any level, Do your research. Do your research when you're fucking with people, no matter what your position in this is, because all parts are actually important, because we all, we love it. So whether if you're an MC, or if you're a DJ, if you're a promoter, if you're a producer, whatever your role is, or even if you're a fan and somebody who likes to go to the shows and get to know everybody, and or whatever, just do your research. It makes the difference. And definitely, like, um I also encourage people, like, like, if you're new to me, welcome to the Señor Gigio show. And that's fine. I'm going to continue to reintroduce myself to people. And I know where I'm at in the game. Okay, I know where I'm at in the game. So I don't have an ego about that. But um I will, I will make no mistake to, not downplay anything that I've accomplished as an artist, and as as an artist fully. Okay, I'm a professional, and not just that. Like, the music speaks for itself. The music and the albums and the animation, all of that speaks for itself. All right, so it's, if you want to get to know me, it's not going to be from, if you really, really want to get to know me, and then you want to connect with me as an artist or whatever, start with my music. Start with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, do your research, and soak it up. I do the same. Look, I'm continuing to collaborate, and meet new people, and do things with people, and that's what I do. That's what I do. I research them. I peep what they do. Okay, I take it in, because that's the respect of it anyways. That's what we want. If you're a real artists who do their shit, they want you to know, and to be familiar with what they do. So that's the respect. That's just what it is. That's how I operate. And I'm going to continue to operate like that. So, yeah. All right. So I feel like I said everything I needed to say there. And yeah, I mean, I could get more into the, the game aspect of it, but I feel like I said what I needed to say right now. And there's so many different parts to the game, being the game, that, like, I'm going to continue to talk about this for a long time. And I'm going to continue also to do these vlogs, and try to express myself and share these things. And I hope that you guys find it helpful, on whatever level. So yeah, Señor Gigio, your boy. All right, support your boy. www.senorgigio.guru. That's SENORGIGIO.guru. Go up on there, catch up on the bio, peep the history, see the catalog, see the art. It's all documented, and I'm continuing to, upload my artworks on there as well, like from all the visual art that I've been creating. So I'm constantly updating that as well. And go up on there, support, cop some merch. Okay, it's wearable art, man. There's a movement to this. This means something. Okay, this is what my movement is. It's a spiritual movement. It means something. I stand for something. I believe in something. I'm not somebody who's just going to follow along with anybody, or go with anybody's program, or with anybody's script. I don't care who they are, okay? Because every day is a new day. Every day we are taking in new information, and we are always changing. Nothing stays the same forever. Nothing is supposed to stay the same forever. Our minds are not supposed to stay the same forever. That's why it's called staying fresh. That's why in hip hop, If you believe in hip hop like I believe in hip hop, then you need to get your principles and your priorities straight. All right. And one thing that we elevate is being fresh, new, brand new, fresh styles, fresh thought, fresh thinking. Every day is a new day. Nothing is the same as it was yesterday. Nobody's the same as they were yesterday. So every day is a new day. And it's always about, what are you, how are you showing up today? Okay. And that's how I'm going to approach anything and everybody. And that's actually God's grace. I'm not saying I'm God, but I'm just saying that's how God is. All right. God gives us that chance every day to see what we're going to do that day and how we going to show up. It just is what it is, man. It's time to put on our big boy pants. It's for ladies. It's time to take off your training bras and put on your big mama bras. Okay, because we got to step our game up, and we're getting older. All right, I mean, if you're to the older ones who are getting older, you look ridiculous when you're in your later years, your 30s, your mid 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and so on and so forth, acting like little kids and like little 21-year-olds. It's a new day, baby. It's a spiritual day. It's a spiritual awakening. And with this spiritual shit, it ain't nothing soft. Ain't nothing soft with it. Okay? It ain't nothing soft. Just know that. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of beautiful things, but it ain't nothing soft. And in these times, as you can see, we have to step our game up and we have to be on point, and we got to stop falling for the okie doke, and we got to stop convincing ourselves or letting ourselves be misled by whatever the trend is of the moment. Okay? Because that's called the game. But the art is always going to be the art of life, the art of living. The art of life remains the same. The game is the game is the game. Okay, guys, God bless you guys. And I look forward to continuing to share, my new works and release things with you guys. I got something dropping this Friday. It's off the hook. You don't know what it is, but you will find out. One love, and if you feeling this, leave something in the comments. Say a little in here, out here for me one time. Yes, if you're watching this, you made it to the end. Drop a comment and say in here, out here.